New today, the United States Supreme Court turned away a challenge to Maryland's ban on so-called assault weapons. So let's talk about this. CBS News correspondent Shanelle Kaul live in the newsroom. Shanelle, explain what all of this means from the High Court.
Right. So, Reed, this is basically a fight over whether the Second Amendment actually allows states to regulate the rifles that have been used in a wave of mass shootings. In Maryland specifically, this all started back in 2012. You'll remember in the wake of the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School. Following that shooting, Reed, a law was enacted to ban assault-style weapons, those long guns, including the AR-15, which was one of 3 guns that were used in that shooting. But then in 2020, that law was challenged by a group that was arguing that it violates their Second Amendment rights. A federal appeals court upheld that Maryland law, essentially likening the banned firearms to the M16 rifle, which, for those who don't know, the Supreme Court had said is outside the scope of Second Amendment protection. So today, the Supreme Court essentially saying, Reed, it will not review that decision. So now this means that lower court ruling that upheld the law, that will for now remain intact. And I say for now because the question of whether AR-15s are protected by the Second Amendment is probably going to be soon decided by the Supreme Court. In a separate statement, Justice Brett Kavanaugh said the issue is currently being considered by other federal appeals courts and that rulings from them should be, quote, assisting this court's ultimate decision-making. He also predicted, Reed, that appeals to the Supreme Court will be before the court shortly and said the justices should, quote, and presumably will address the AR-15 issue soon in the next term or two. So more to come on this story, but for now it does seem as though that lower court ruling is standing.
All right, Shanelle Kaul, we know so many families who have lost loved ones to violence. Watch this one closely. We appreciate you.